Today Tonight and the West Australian have joined forces to help save families money. In a special series called Shop Watch, we'll be checking out prices of a wide variety of goods and services to help you make better choices. We begin with a survey of liquor prices and can reveal price differences are huge. Graham Butler explains.
I think the retail war's been bubbling along for some time. It's just got a little bit more intense.
It's extremely aggressive.
Everyone's just cutting deals all over the place, and the result is, for the consumer, it's a fantastic time to be buying wine.
With the festive season here, there are bargains aplenty for a celebratory drop. And that's thanks largely to one of the fiercest discounting wars we've seen in Perth. We'll reveal the cheapest in a minute.
In terms of the West Australian market, you're looking at around $2 billion a year in terms of alcohol takeaway consumed for outside of licensed premises.
Bradley Woods heads up the Australian Hotels Association. He says 70% of alcohol sold is now takeaway, and the market is dominated by just two players.
Well, in some circumstances, you've got outlets that are branded, a unique name. It doesn't say anything about a supermarket, but it's owned by a supermarket chain. It's not owned by a small independent family that are running a liquor store. It's owned by a big multinational company.
So who owns what? Coles and Woolies own the biggest discount stores, with Coles First Choice and Woolies Dan Murphy's. There's also Liquorland, Woolworths Liquor, Vintage Cellars and BWS. Same companies, vastly different prices.
There is a very good reason for the price variations. I mean, there is enormous competition between largely the two major players in this caper, that's Coles and Woolies, and there's a lot of wine out there to sell.
Wine writer for the West Australian, Ray Jordan, says there's some real bargains at the moment if you keep an eye out.
I mean, you'll find specials almost every day in the newspaper, and the smart guys are going to have a bit of a look at that and say, well, that's me. I'll be grabbing some of that wine.
We've surveyed a sample of liquor stores across Perth to see how much prices vary. A basket of wine, beer and spirits. We've taken the single unit price and included any special on the day. We haven't counted bargains that require you to buy more than one bottle. Horton's SSB, the cheapest we found was $6.94 at First Choice Bicton and Jandakot. But you could pay as much as $15.99 for the same bottle. That's a saving of $9. Evans and Tate Classic White, the cheapest was $12.99 at Dan Murphy's in Morley. But you could pay as much as $20. That's a difference of $7. For Fifth Leg Red, the cheapest was $10.42 at First Choice Bicton and Jandakot. The most we saw it for was $20, almost double the price. These prices were for a single bottle, but if you're buying wine, you can find even bigger discounts for 6 or more bottles.
Case buying is a terrific way to go. And I mean, if you see something you just like and say, well, I've got the whole summer to go, buy it by the case. I mean, some of the 30% discounts, more, I think, in some cases. And really worth doing because you've got it there, you've got it at the best price. And it's a good way to go.
There are also big savings on premium bottles. For MOET and CHANDON NV French Champagne, a huge price difference here from $59.98. The cheapest was at Chewett Hill Liquor, but you could be paying as much as $99. That's a difference of $32.
Australia is one of the biggest French champagne markets in the world. It's an extraordinary market for French fizz. And so they know there's an appetite for it here, and you'll probably see some pretty good deals. Word of caution, some of those, the wine may not be absolutely pristine, but in the main, I think you can be, probably pretty safe.
For beer drinkers, a carton of BECKS, the cheapest was $42.45 at Dan Murphy's. The most expensive, $45. That's a difference of $2.55. Johnnie Walker Red, the price ranged from $28.90 to $37.99. The cheapest we found at First Choice in Jandakot, a saving of $9.09. Bailey's Irish Cream is a favourite at Christmas. The cheapest we found was $29.95 at Dan Murphy's. Some stores were charging $35.99. a saving here of just over $6 a bottle. The cheapest overall basket price for our 14 items was $333.69 at First Choice Jandakot. It compares with the most expensive of $453.86. That's an incredible difference of $120.17. But what's good news for consumers has raised concerns in the industry, especially smaller retailers who are now battling harder than ever to compete against the big boys.
It's very difficult for a lot of independent operators to buy in at the prices that major corporate chains are doing.
What you're finding, of course, is that the wines are being made available, and the specials are, we can see them every day. Word of caution, it doesn't mean that everything in the shop is going to be cheap.
Tomorrow's West